Hey everybody, welcome to our video part 3 of the the 4 types of owners that I've run into in my 16, 20 years of coaching and helping physical therapists in private practice succeed and live the life that they've always envisioned for themselves. This one is the tough one. This one's the tough gun. This is part 3. I hope you caught the earlier 2 from the previous weeks where I went over the innocent owner and the caregiver owner. For those of you who might identify with that, please go back and check that out and see what you can do to actually improve your life and become a better owner if those two actually connect with you or relate to you or you relate to that. But in this case, this is going to be kind of tough because this person is typically not very self-aware. The KnowItAll owner. The KnowItAll owner. That's the one I'm talking about right now. They're not very self-aware. Most problems and barriers are external. There are things that are being done to them, not because of them. Most fault and blame on things that don't go well or plans that don't work out are because of others. Not them, but yet others. And when it comes to lack of knowingness and needing to gain new information and more knowledge, they're very resistant. They kind of know best. They've kind of been there, done that. I've been in business. This person's usually somebody who's been in business a while, 8 to 10 plus years. They have very fixed ideas. So I'm going to tell you a story. I had an owner once who had this fixed idea that I should never borrow money. I should never go into debt. I should only pay for what I need, cash on the barrel. So he's talking to me at lunch at PPS once, about a decade ago, and he's telling me he's been in business now for 2 years and he's struggling, and it's just him and a part-time person who helps with the phone and helps in the back. So 3 years open, I think he said, 3 years open. 3 years open, him and another part-time person. Well, that's a red flag right there. Like, what are you talking about? You don't have 5 people in a box already? You've been open 3 years. Like, seriously, what's happening right now? But he says, hey, man, I'm not going to go into debt. I'm not going to pay for a payroll that I can't afford. I'm not going to hire somebody until I have more people. And I'm thinking, like, all these things in my head. Like, seriously, how are you going to have more people, more patients, more visits if you don't have a person to treat them, to put them on their schedule, right? You kind of have to put the horse in front of the cart, right? So I'm thinking all these things in my head. So he's going on, and he's so virtuous about it. Like, he's holier than thou, and he's such a better person than others because he's so disciplined, and he's so committed to sticking to what he knows is right. So I said to him, I said, hey, you know what? I totally get you. Yeah, I bet your parents told you that when you're growing up. Live within your means. Don't spend more than you make. Cash on the barrel. He's like, yeah, as a matter of fact, he did. That's exactly the messaging I got. I said, I bet that was in reference to you living your house, living your home life and raising a family and, buying a home and, things like that. He said, yeah, exactly. You got to be very conscientious and so on. So I was like, hey, good. I think your parents were brilliant. I think they were right. Hats off to you. So I'm validating him, right? Validating him. Hats off to you for committing to all that. But let me tell you one thing. Chances are your parents didn't run a business or own a business, correct? And it's like, no, as a matter of fact, that's correct. They were school teachers, right? I said, okay. Chances are the people you typically talk to in your extended family or friends about this practice are not practice owners either or business owners of any type. They're just close personal friends. Yeah, that's pretty much true. Why would you be taking business advice from people who've never ran a business before? Why would you be feeling like you're in good company just because they're genetically connected to you? They share the same blood type as you. They live and go to the same church as you. Can you see the ridiculousness of that? If I want to go and be a better bobsledder, I'm not going to talk to my friend Bob who rides a bike. I'm going to go to Lake Placid and hang out with the bobsledders so that I can learn how to be a better bobsledder. Somebody who's done it, been there, has experience and a track record of success. Because here's the deal. If I open up a clinic right next door to your clinic, I lease out the suite right next door, I borrow $100,000, I deck that thing out with wood and granite and floors and tiles, and I get Nautilus equipment in there, and I have it all going. I have my Valence Center, my orthopedic center, my cardio center, I have my manual therapy, high-low tables, and there you are, literally, he was telling me, 2 tables, an exercise ball, and some TheraBands, and then a desk. because you can't afford to buy anything until you make the money to do it, guess what? Somebody walking by those 2 windows, they're walking in my clinic. And within 2 to 3 years, all of that stuff is paid off, and everything else is now enriching me as an owner, so I can then turn it back, hire more staff, so that I can in fact help more people. I can run the business from the top. I can have futuristic new pilots and programs and innovative technologies brought into my clinic so I can get better results. And his head was spinning like, oh my gosh. And I could just see it in his eyes. He was confronting the fact that for years he's been validating or investing in a concept or an idea that hasn't served him well. And he's tearing down the bricks of that fixed idea. And let me tell you, for that know-it-all owner, if you've ever felt like that before, that's a hard thing to do. Here's the thing that's a big fixed idea that people are having to readjust to right now, and it's pretty widespread. Pay for performance. So here's my tip of advice on how I can help you as a know-it-all owner kind of tear that down. Number 1, start spending 2 hours a week learning outside of your normal window of listening, reading, viewing of things, right? Typically, people who are know-it-all owners tend to stay in the crowds or in the media or in the book relevance or informational spectrum of things that support their fixed ideas. That's where they live, right? I'm asking you to unplug yourself from that and invest yourself into alternative things to think about. Opposing opinions. Opposing opinions aren't necessarily bad. They may give you some ingenuity to create on ideas that you never thought of because you're assuming perspectives that you never took before. I'm not saying you have to embrace their ideology 100%. I'm saying think about it. Listen to them. Hear them out. What is their purpose? What is their goal? I don't believe people are genuinely bad. I think they're genuinely trying to do the best thing and the right thing first and foremost. So you need to be one of those people that can do that. And in order to do that, you got to be willing to listen. You got to be willing to look. If you're willing to do that, you can change your personality. You can get away from those fixed ideas and no longer be that know-it-all owner. And that's what I want for you more than anything in the world. So step 1, start doing that, right? Step 2, be willing to start small by starting educational sessions of maybe about 2 hours a week. Like I said, training yourself with somebody else who's been successful in what you want to do. Whether it's coaching with us at Meg Academy or some other group, investing in your educational knowledge is not money going away from you. It's money coming back to you. It's not like buying a BMW that 10 years from now is going to be in a scrap heap somewhere and it's depreciated the whole entire time. Investing in your coaching, investing in like virtual training and learning management system like what we have, where we're going to give you all of the documents, all of the training you need. It's yours. You're enhancing yourself and then those around you. I mean, it just kind of populates and populates. So commit to that. You know, why don't you commit to learning more about that and how you can help yourself and those around you? Step 3, be willing to visit others. Travel. Get in these forums. Get into the peer-to-peer groups. Ask if you can go look at their clinic. Go visit them. Go see what they're doing. Do some virtual tours. You have to immerse yourself in a different environment that's doing things differently than you are and accomplishing the goals that you want to accomplish. If you don't see it, feel it, touch it, you don't have the mass of it. It's one thing to intellectually learn about it. It's another thing to learn how to apply it. It's another thing to see it, feel it, and touch it. If you need help with that, reach out to me. I will connect you with other owners that would be happy to share with you. That's one of the most important things in Meg Academy. We have this Slack channel where anybody can answer anybody's question. Anybody can ask any question. We're all here to help each other. PTs helping PTs. We are not competitors. We are not competitors. We are bonding together. We are allies. We are collaborators. And that's what I want for you as a know-it-all owner PT. Because what am I trying to do? I'm trying to convert you to a go-getter. You probably have some really good successful actions that have probably worked really well for you in the past. But moving forward, it's a different environment. You may need to tear down some of those ideas, some of those ways in which you did things. Maybe get rid of the paper charts. Maybe let's look at a digital EMR system. Maybe let's stop the newsletter and the postcards. And maybe let's do some social media, blogging and posting and stuff like that. Let's get in onto some of these sites. Maybe It's what you don't know that you're afraid to actually admit. And you're afraid to actually apply yourself into areas of uncertainty. You keep falling back to the areas that you have confidence. And that's not always what's going to help you most. So there's my advice on how I can help you become a go-getter owner. I hope this was helpful. I hope you're enjoying this series. We are talking go-getter next week. Stay tuned. Start every day expecting to do well, and you will.